this book, How Full Is Your Bucket? For kids, I got this idea from a teacher named Stacy Payne, who's a wonderful first grade teacher at Chicopee. She let me borrow hers. I read it to my class and fell in love with it. It basically talks about how we all have a bucket, and our bucket can be full or our bucket can be empty. And everything that people say to us throughout the day either fills our bucket or drains our bucket. And so we use this in our classroom. We have a poster, and it's called How Full Is Your Bucket? We took little clear party cups like you would drink punch out of and cut them in half and hot glued them to a poster board, and it has the kid's name on it. And then we have Q-tips. If a student praises another student, they get to add a drop to their bucket and that student's bucket. If a student ridicules another student, they have to remove a drop from their bucket. And that is really a great management tool, because our students are constantly praising each other now instead of making fun of each other or ridiculing each other, because they want drops in their bucket and they don't want to have to remove drops from their bucket. We're going on a book hunt. I also got some Stacy Payne. I haven't even opened mine yet. You can see it still has like a lesson plan attached to the back of it in cellophane. But I read hers to my students, and this basically is a book about how to pick out a just right book. I know you guys know the 5-finger rule, right? You've learned that. We're going on a book hunt to teach us that 5-finger rule, and then at the end, if a book has 5 fingers, you wave bye-bye. And so my class sang na 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 na. No, 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 hey, hey, hey. Those fingers are. And they love it. So now they know when it's time to find a book, they hold up their hand and they know to look for those words they don't know, and they know to wave bye if they have too many. Goldilocks and 3 Librarians is the same thing. It's the bears. The 3 bears actually run the library, and Goldilocks comes in to the library, and it talks about her finding a just right book. And it's a very good book, too. And the reason I think that they went with that theme is, you know, a lot of teachers use Goldilocks and the 3 Bears because the chair's too big, too little, just right, or too hard, too soft, just right. And it's a very good book. This Saturday's Tea Cakes is also a great book for teaching writing skills. It's probably a bit much for kindergartners, but my kids loved hearing the story, and I have Mr. Laminack on CD. My CDs in my CD player. They got to listen to him read his own book. This book uses a lot of great writing strategies, like the power of 3. Like when he's going up the hill, he says pedal, pedal, pedal. And I'll use a lot of use of onomatopoeia and a lot of descriptive writing. It's a great book for teaching writing. Your book. This one is a 2005-2006 because the new one costs $45. This one costs $5. So if you go to the mailbox website, you can get older versions for $5. They're very worth it. You can see on my little purple tabs, these are all things I've used this year already out of this book. So I would recommend going and getting the older version and using them. Nobody tell me a lot. The reason I have clear shoe boxes, I have purchased 100 of these since I started teaching, and I still don't have enough. I use this for everything from storing pencils to my centers. We have on Friday, we call it Fun Friday. They're doing reading and math, but they don't realize they're doing reading and math because we use fun activities like this would be in one tub. And this is something else that I would suggest you buy, little cute playing cards. Even my 5th graders that I teach after school math like to use these. These are SpongeBob playing cards. But you take out the face cards and the jokers, and then you can use this for multiple ways. In kindergarten, you can use it for number recognition. You can use it for putting numbers in order. Now we're on subtraction, so my kids will flip 2 cards. They know to put the larger number first and take away the smaller number. And then we have a little laminated paper with 3 boxes. They have to put the 6, the minus sign, the 2, and then the answer. But you can use cards for so many different things. My 5th graders, I use it for fractions. They flip 2 cards, they build a fraction, they flip 2 cards, build a fraction, and then they have to multiply those fractions. And they love it. So cards can be used for lots of different things too. But I use these clear shoe boxes to keep all this in, so when it's time to rotate centers, they just put everything back in the box and rotate around. Also have this box that I wanted to show you for guided reading. Our school has the Jack and Jilly program. I don't know if any of you have heard of that or not, but in Jack and Jilly they have their own books because they're leveled. And in Jack and Jilly your groups are leveled as well. And so I have in these the sight words that this particular group is using. I have pencils because they need those for different things. I've also made up little games with their sight words on it. Like I made these for baseball week. They just look like baseballs with their sight words on them. But their books go down in here. They're not in here now because they take them home each night to read. But their books go down in here, and then when we go to the different reading groups, we'll have 2 parapros and a teacher in the room during Jack and Jilly. So we have 3 small groups. This rotates with them from group to group so that everything they need is with that group. They're not having to run back and get something. So I would recommend these 2 to try to talk you into laminating things. When you create something, create it in mind that you're going to use it again instead of just creating it for a class. Create it so that it can be utilized and laminated. Like these are chicks that we created. We did 100 chicks for the 100th day of school. We hid them throughout our classroom, and the kids had to find them. We used it as a math activity because we knew they would not find all 100 chicks. So we took how many chicks we found, and you take that away from 100, how many chicks are left, and then we did another, hunt, how many more did we find, that kind of thing. But it was laminated. Because it was laminated after that, I've used a vis-a-vis marker. I put all their sight words on it, and then I have cards that say crack. And then they're all shuffled up and they're put down in an Easter basket. Well, they pick out a word. If they read it correctly, they keep it. But when they come to a word that says crack, they have to put all their words back in the basket. And it's just a little game for them to play. They're reading their sight words, but they don't realize they're reading their sight words. They think they're playing a game. Same thing with eggs, because Easter's coming up. You're going to see a lot of Easter stuff. Same thing with eggs. Like on this, we're studying number words right now. The number 3, the word 3, and then they just have to match it up. And you can do that with anything, onset and rhyme. I mean, anything. All right. Let's let it go. Up there. All right. I put on here, you're going to work many more hours teaching than you work in school now. And a lot of you are probably thinking, there's no way. Oh, yes, way. You work many, many more hours when you're teaching because you have to prepare everything for the kids. And this is another recommendation that I would make for that. This is just from Colorful Images. It's a file folder. You can buy any thing that holds files and it will work just as good. But I have 2 weeks worth of files. Like this next file says Wednesday because tomorrow is Wednesday. I have everything I need for tomorrow in this. So if I'm using a reproducible, it's in here for Wednesday because I know I need it Wednesday. If there's a book I'm going to be reading, like you can see a book sticking up here, it's in that day. That way when I come into school, I have everything I need in this one folder and I'm ready to go. And I have 2 weeks ready and prepared. I have not missed a day. Hopefully I will not miss a day, but if I do, my sub has everything they need as well in here so that they don't have to go looking for books. Like you may know where a book is on your bookshelf, but your sub may not know where a book is on your bookshelf. So I keep 2 weeks of everything I need for my lessons in this, and I would recommend that because it works well.